Hello, my name's Joe Hinkle, and I'm going to show you guys my Embeddable Scrollview plugin for Corona SDK. So typically in Corona, when you want to build a scroll view, you have to make this little, put in this little snippet. You just say widget, new scroll view, and you give it the parameters you need. And so that's what this looks like. You have a little scroll view. So what happens when you want to put another scroll view inside of another? If you embed one, right, let's say you have a horizontal scroll view inside of a vertical scroll view, you get this sort of action, which is fine. But the problem comes when the user tries dragging up and down on your horizontal scroll view. You see nothing happens. Here I'm dragging up and down on the horizontal scroll view, but nothing's happening. And that's because this top scroll view is trying to capture it. And what happens is it becomes a nightmare to try to manage the touch focus yourself. And it just something you end up just not implementing. You'll just change your UI design or wherever the heck you end up doing to solve the problem. So what I've done is I've abstracted the solution to this problem, so that way it's very easy to implement. So instead of just saying do scroll view, what you'll do is you'll take your embedded scroll view. So you see down here I have my embedded scroll view. This one gets inserted inside this main scroll view. Instead of saying widget new scroll view, I take the library that I created, the Embeddable Scrollview. I take that and I'm going to say Embeddable Scrollview create, and then I give it the same parameters like I normally would, except I give it this new parameter saying display object to give touch focus from vertical scroll. Now that's kind of a mouthful, but I left it this explicit just so you understand what's exactly happening. You're going to give the touch focus to this display object when you vertical scroll on it. So let's try that out. Here we go. I vertical scroll and it transfers over. I can do the same thing for my my vertical embedded scroll view. So say here, let's change this one over again to Embeddable Scroll View create. So we use my embedded scroll view. Which is actually just built on top of Corona's scroll view, in case you're wondering. This is an adaptation to the original scroll view. What you do is you can give it the display object to give touch focus from horizontal scroll, right? So here we have our vertical scrolling one inside of the other vertical scrolling one. So if you scroll horizontally on this now, it will give the touch focus to the main one. So that's kind of nice. You can turn that off if you'd like. Say you don't want that. You could just say, you know what, I don't really want that. So even if you drag sideways, I want to keep it on the smaller one. So there you go. There's also another feature I implemented, which this one requires a little bit of legwork on your part, but say you just want to arbitrarily give the touch focus at any point in time. You just want to say, hey, I'm going to call this function, and when I call this function, give the touch focus to this other object. So here I can just do it on a function call. So here I can just say on the scroll view, so here's my embedded scroll view, I'll just say give focus away. And once you do that, it just starts forwarding all the events to the other display object as if it were being touched itself. So what I'll do is I just say, you know what, if you move beyond a certain point, if you drag the view too high or too low, then what it does is it just gives the focus away, right? And so when I do that, once I scroll to the end, it then transfers over to the top scroll view. So that way I can scroll, hit the end, and it transfers over. That works pretty nice. So you end up getting this very nice system going where you can have all these different scroll views inside one another. The only limit with scroll views, and this is an issue again with Corona, is that you can't embed a third one inside. So I can't go one scroll view, a second one, then put another one inside here. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, but the reason you can't do that is there's a limit to how many times Corona can do masks. And since scroll views use containers, you eventually hit that limit. So that's my demo. Let me see, is there anything else I want to show off? Yeah, well, everything else will be documented, so if you need to use anything else, you'll have that. The main three are a display object to give touch focus from horizontal scroll, from function call, and from vertical scroll. Those are the main ones you'll be using. Okay, I hope you guys enjoy this.